Hello, hello. Welcome everyone. Waiting for more people to join us. Still have a minute to start. We have more people joining in. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the masterclass series with Lucidya. As you probably know by now, hopefully, this is a monthly masterclass where we focus on specific features within our platform to help you make the most out of your experience with Lucidya. Quick intros here. My name is Mohamed AlShammari. I'm the product marketing manager here at Lucidya. And with me, I have my colleague Hind Nour, who is the customer success manager.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for your time and for joining us.
Thank you so much for being here with us, everyone. So, quick intro on what we do here at Lucidya for anyone who is new to us. Lucidya is a unified CX platform powered by AI, and it helps marketing and customer experience departments make the most out of their customer experience and manage their customer experience and journeys better. So, in other words, what that really means is if you're a marketing professional or a PR professional, you would use Lucidya to monitor your brand, monitor your keywords that are relevant to your organization or your brand, and also so you can stay on top of trends before they hit the fan, or so you can avoid crises before they happen by monitoring your brand, by monitoring the keywords that are relevant to you. And if you're a customer support or customer service agent, you can use Lucidya to manage your interactions with your customers. If someone leaves a comment on a social media website or directly messages your brand or wants to engage with your brand, you can immediately use Lucidya to respond to your customers and provide customer care. So that's a quick intro about Lucidya. And before we dive in, I want to just share some house rules here or housekeeping notes. So the first thing you should know is that this meeting is recorded, so you will receive it in your email, whether you attended or not. Everyone is going to be receiving this recording in email. Second thing is, if you have questions throughout the masterclass, you can use the Q&A box on the right side of the screen, and you can enter your questions there. And when we have time at the end, we'll be addressing those. Another thing is that we will be launching a poll to get your interaction and get your insight so that we can engage with you and understand where you're coming from. So with that, I also want to mention that at the end of this session, as soon as we end the session, you will see a screen with a survey, so we can get your insight about how your feedback basically for this masterclass session. So with that, I'll pass it on to Hind, who's gonna show us really cool things and cool features that you can use on Lucidya. Hind, I'll give it to you.
So much, Mohamed. Thank you again, everyone, for your time and for joining this masterclass. In today's masterclass, we're going to see something very interesting, which is, as you might have seen by the title, what is a monitor, how to create a monitor, and what type of monitors that Lucidya has. Then, based on the information that we put in that monitor, how to build a dashboard or a live dashboard in just a few clicks. Okay. So first, we have to go to the social listening monitors list. And here we have a tab called monitor, new monitor. You would say, okay, what is a monitor? A monitor, we can say, is like a report or a quick dashboard, which gives us analysis based on if we have, for example, a public account, or we want to know certain information based on some keywords. Okay. So in today's session, we're going to see the keywords monitor, but quickly I will go through the public account, which is we can monitor, for example, any public account through social media like Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, which will give us two things: account performance as well as the engagement of that account. All this information we'll see it together right now. So first, we go and we choose Keywords Monitor. We can name it, in this case, we're going to go with Riyadh season as an example. And here we can choose which platform we would like to monitor, from which platform we would like to get the data. When we say Keywords Monitor, it means that I put some keywords and I want Lucidya to collect anyone who has posted anything that has that keyword. And that keyword will be analyzed. So let's see it together. First, we're going to choose the platform. In this case, I'll go by X platform, but we have Facebook, Instagram, and when it comes to keywords, we also monitor news and blogs. So first, choosing the keywords, we have to be very conscious about this because keep in mind that the internet, it's full of information. So if we would like to monitor Riyadh season, we cannot put Riyadh and season. What will happen here is that we will collect anyone who has any post that has Riyadh. So we need to be very specific. And we have a lot of things that will help us to get very specific information when it comes to this. So for example, we know that Riyadh season, they have a hashtag, either in Arabic, which is Mawsim Riyadh, or in English, which is Riyadh season as it is. This is very easy. Next step will be like, okay, I want to monitor anyone who has spoken about Riyadh season, but for example, also adding the word food. I would like to know anyone, the feedback of people when it comes to food, or when it comes to my brand. I have a booth on Riyadh season. I would like to know anyone who has mentioned Riyadh season has mentioned my brand. So we can just easily add Riyadh season again. Okay. And we add and brand, for example, we can put food. What will happen here is that it will collect any post that has Riyadh season and food in the same post. Another trick that we have here is that, for example, I would like to collect anyone who has mentioned Riyadh season and quotation, food and drinks. When we put the quotation, it means that I would like to collect anyone who has spoken or posted anything regarding Riyadh season and food and drinks in the same way as it is. So it will collect the sentence as it is. We just click and enter, and it will appear like this. We have another options that will help us to shrink a bit the research. For example, there are spam words. For example, there are brands that we would not like to collect anything from them, or we would not like even to collect from Riyadh season account. We can add it easily. And then if you would like to collect only from certain users, for example, we have a campaign or we have affiliated or influencers, and we would like to analyze what happened whenever they posted about us, what was the sentiment, what post they did, and so on. We can add the users here, as well as ignore posts from users. We can also filter by location, as well as by language. For example, I only would like to collect anything in English or anything in Arabic. This is all to help us to get the data that we want without collecting data that we don't need, sorry. Then we have two options here. First one, which is exclude repost or quote, which means that whenever someone that retweet or reposted something, we're not interested to collect that, or we would like to only collect from verified users. Clear? Then we just go directly to create monitor. What will happen here is that the monitor, it will start collecting the data from the moment that we have created the monitor. So we say, for example, Hind, Riyadh season was since October. How can I know that? Or I would like to compare between last year and this year. Very easily, we go to the right side, historical data requests, and we choose the date range that we want. We can go up to the last year's. We can choose just a few months back. So in our case, in this time, we would like to go from October 2024, which is the date that Riyadh season started, until today. Once we apply, here the tool tells us, okay, this is approximately the number of tweets that we have right now, which is this number. And we just go next. And you say, okay, what is this? This is our subscription. So how much we would like to consume from our subscription from all these posts. I would like just to have an idea about what happened. We can just put a shorter number. No, I would like to collect everything. We paste the full number. and we click on request. Once we click on request, it will start collecting the data, and we will see it right now. So in my case, I will just put 100. And since I have already created another monitor to show you directly how the data shows like. So when it comes to keywords monitor, it will show us directly to the engagement. And this is how the monitor would look like. First, we have here on this side, analytics, which gives us information about the engagement, the posts that we are collecting, the comments and mentions. And here we have other things that will help us even to filter more our information. So first, by default, any monitor that we open, it's by the last 7 days. Then we have here other filters. I would like, for example, only to know or collect negative sentiment. I would like to collect only in Arabic, although I've created the monitor in English and Arabic. And you have here a lot of filters to go with. Then here we have the engagement, which is the overview, how many comments we have that have used this hashtag, for example. The interactions, likes, reposts, comments, and so on. We can see it also here. And something very interesting that we have here in Lucidya, it is the sentiment analysis. Sentiment analysis, it means that every single comment in any dialect or language, it's analyzed and filtered or segmented by sentiment. So here it helps us, for example, we have chosen Riyadh season and our brand, we can know whenever people talk about us, what was their sentiment. And we can always inspect it from here directly. We have a lot of more information here. We can see the comments, top keywords, hashtags, all the posts that has more engagement, and so on and so forth, which dialect we have used. Not only Arabic, but we can also see if it's Khaliji, Maghribi, Iraqi, all the dialects. And this will help us, okay, who is our target or our target clients, which languages which they speak. So we can even learn how to speak with them. And a lot of information that we have also all seen in our previous classes, and we will see more details about it in our next class. As you know, all the monitors, you can always export it as PowerPoint or Excel sheet. So you can have even a report out of it. So now let's go to the next stage. Yes.
I want to also add, I'm curious to hear from our audience, who does this kind of work in your in your organization or in your company? Which department usually handles this type of work, brand monitoring? And we launched a poll. Feel free to respond to the poll so we can understand who's here with us. Is it usually the customer experience team? Looks like we have some people responding with marketing team. Looks like most of everyone who's here is part of the marketing team.
I would love to know something else from you, which is, if you don't have a tool, how do you know that? How do you know what was the feedback? Do you go through the comments one by one manually? Or how do you do that? How do you collect that data?
Yeah, and feel free to let us know if you have any questions about that in the Q&A box.
Yep. So going back a bit to the monitor, again, there's a lot of things that we can do, and there are a million of use cases. Today, we're seeing just a small one. Now we're going to say, okay, we have created the monitor, we have requested historical data, we have seen that information, and it's all clear for us. But Hind, I want to have the monitor open. I would like to share it with everyone in the company. I don't want to give them, all of them, access to the tool. I just want to share it with them so they can see it. Something very amazing that we have here, which is live dashboard. So we just create live dashboard. We can give it a name, for example, Riyadh season. And this is something that actually our clients use a lot. And in just a few clicks, you will have a full live dashboard that you can keep open anywhere in your offices. So here you have first the name. Second, we choose access. Do you want it private, just for myself, Hind? Or I want for my full team, anyone who has access to Lucidya, or I want it public. So in this case, today we are create a public monitor, and the public dashboard, sorry. And here we will be able to choose which widgets or information we would like to share. This happens a lot when we would like to share information with the management without letting them getting access to the monitor, explaining everything. They just click on one link and they can have access to it. Then going down, we click and we choose information that we would like to add in this monitor. So if it's something related to account performance, now we're seeing an example of a public account. So we can also have account performance, but I would like to go directly to the engagement since now we are with the keywords. So we choose, for example, I would like to have on lifetime sentiment analysis. What is happening? Also the comments volume. Top hashtags will give me a lot of information about how many times I'm using our hashtags, or Riyadh season hashtags in this case. I would like also to know all the top posts or mentions that we are having, and this is all based on the engagement, which is likes, comments, retweets, so it's organized by that. And I would like also to have a list of top verified engagers that are happening. And this is all, again, real time. You have a lot of options here, the posts, the comments, the mentions, if you like to collect only questions, but we're going to go right now with only engagements, and you will see right now how easy it is. So we click on create dashboard, and that's it. So you say, okay, how can I share this dashboard? Is this dashboard in English only? No, you can always have it in Arabic. You can change the language also here. You have also the share option here, which gives us two links. One is internal link, which I can share with anyone who has access to Lucidya. And one is a public link, which I would like to share with everyone, even if they don't have access to Lucidya. So we just copy the link and we can share it directly. We can always edit the widgets and the information. And we can also change, for example, I would like to see not from the last 7 days, but also from the last 30 days. So you also have that option. By default, it's everything by the last 7 days. The information that you see first, total posts, authors, and engagement. And then something very cool that we have is that we can change the order. I would like to have first the top verified engagers, for example. I just choose it and move it as easy as this. I would like to have the comments on the left side, for example, and all this. Once we are done with all the changes, we just click on Save Changes. And that's it. This is how we create a monitor, we put the keywords, and we create a live dashboard based on the information that we want to go. If you have any questions, please feel free to let me know. I'll be very happy to answer you.
Great. Thank you so much, Hind. Looks like we have a question here. But I just wanted to also come back to that poll, and looks like we're at 50-50, with half the people here with us today coming from CX, customer experience teams or customer service teams, and the other half is from marketing departments. And that makes sense usually, because these are the teams who would often want to know what's happening with their brand. I can't expect our finance team to be tracking brand monitoring and keywords.
That would be very interesting. But when it comes to customer service, it is really interesting because they can monitor everything that's happening. They can get the questions, the more frequent questions that people have. If I would like to know or have any feedback about our brand, we can also have it from the marketing team. If I would like to see and know when is that people are more active, so I can post more, we can also have it from that side. So actually, customer success and marketing will work together in this always. So it really makes sense when it comes to 50-50.
Yeah, definitely makes sense. Thank you. Thanks for everyone who responded to that poll. And looks like we have a question here, and we have 2 more minutes since this is a 20-minute masterclass, quick and easy, where Hind really shows us how to make the most out of Lucidya. So looks like there's this question from Nour Abdullah. Let me see how I can put this up for everyone to see. Okay. Can Lucidya's monitor solution help us track competitor mentions as well, or is it limited to our own brand? So Hind, can I track our competitors' mentions?
Yeah, you can always track your competitor mention. And if you remember our last class, our master class, you can also make a benchmark based on that. So you can track your competitor mentions, if we're talking about keywords, your own mentions, and you can track even your competitor's account or any other account, any other public account, if we're talking, for example, about Twitter, and compare it to your own account. So yeah, absolutely, yes.
Nice. So you can have eyes and ears everywhere and stay on top of everything.
Exactly. Okay, our next question. You would like to...
We have a question. If we're a small team, what's the simplest way to start using alerts without getting overwhelmed? So we're covering alerts actually in our next masterclass. So you would want to stick around and make sure you register for that one. But Hind, you can, if you have an answer for that really quickly for this person who asked.
When we say that we would not like to get overwhelmed, and this again, as my colleague said, that we will see it in our next masterclass. Alerts, we have a lot of type of alerts, but let's say, for example, I would like to put an alert for the negative comments. If we don't have, that's why I was saying we have to be very careful when it comes to which keywords we use, because always remember that internet, it's full of information. If we put only one word, it will collect everything. If we put, for example, Riyadh, it will collect everything. So if I even put an alert for that, I will receive 100 of alerts of negative sentiment. So that's why, to make sure that we don't receive a lot of alerts, be specific on the keywords, be specific on the spam words. Make sure that you are choosing the right keywords, so you will receive the right alerts. And inshallah, that's we'll see inshallah in our next class.
Yes, we'll be covering all types of alerts so you can stay on top of everything like we mentioned.
That's very interesting.
Yes. With that, looks like these are all the questions that we had, and we're right on time. Thank you so much for joining us, everyone. Please make sure you respond to the very quick 2-minute survey that will show up on your screen when we end this masterclass session, and we'll see you next month in our next masterclass. Thank
Inshallah.
you. Demo.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, everyone.